And John told me something that I think is very interesting. That in the last 30 seconds of life, that people usually said two things. I wish I had more time, and did I make a difference? But my family was anything but. Beset by violence and turmoil and alcoholism, we were that family on the street. I remember from my childhood a very poignant moment when my mom took a smiling picture of our family off of the buffet and she hung it over a hole in the wall that my brother had punched in one of his violent rages. Now, during that struggle, I learned something. As I reflected upon that moment later in my life, I find it to be true that you can't fix the hole in the wall until you take down the smiling picture. When I was 11 years old, my mother died in a drunken car accident when she drove onto the highway the wrong way. 3 years later, my brother Tim died in almost exactly the same way. Beer in hand, he drove under a truck. All of this ended up leading to my involvement with the mission in Guatemala. And as part of my support of their building a new school for developmentally challenged children, I decided that I was going to raise funds by climbing Mount Rainier. So purpose found me clinging to the side of a glacier-covered mountain, August 11th, 2016. You see, I wasn't just living out the fantasy of a middle-aged man. I was raising money for kids who didn't have anything and who didn't have the resources it takes to address Down syndrome or autism. You see, purpose kept me going to the summit when I didn't think I had any strength left. Now, losing my siblings and my mother to tragic accidents were very difficult. But just after my sister died, the biggest storm of all hit. My friend, Father Chris, is a good friend and a golfing buddy. Chris loves golf so much, he told some fellow priests that he wanted to die in a sand trap. Now, Chris and I shared our golf and our bourbon and our faith regularly. We would get together and go on trips together. And it was one day when we were golfing that Chris said he wanted to go for a ride in my convertible. And we did after we got finished, and it lasted about 10 seconds. When we were down an embankment, upside down, where my friend Chris died in a sand trap. Within a year of summiting a great mountain, I was lower and more broken than I ever thought I could be. Now, I was sentenced to jail for vehicular manslaughter. So now I'm really confused. She doesn't know who she's there to see. I don't know who she is. So I asked her, ma'am, who are you? Who sent you here? And why are you here? She said, I had it on my heart that I needed to come down here and I needed to pray with Jeremy Higgins. And I said, well, I'm Jeffrey Higgins, so maybe you're meant to see me. Who are you? And she said, my name is Sister Karen from this Franciscan convent. And I just had the need to come down here tonight to be with you. That was my 40th day in jail, and an angel came to me. My wife, I called her right afterwards, and she said, was she real? Did you touch her? And I said, yes, I did, but I don't know, and it doesn't really matter, does it? Because Sister Karen was able to come out of nowhere. I was curled up in a fetal position in the corner, praying to die, feeling that I had an agony that nobody could relate to, that nobody could reach. But Sister Karen did. You see, there are lots of stories like this, I believe. And what that teaches me is that during life's most difficult moments, the veil between us and our higher power is thinnest. The point is, I have been to the mountaintop and I have been in life's deepest valleys. And I can tell you unequivocally that the greatest learnings in life come through our struggles. I have learned that you cannot fix the hole in the wall until you're willing to take down the smiling picture and fix it. I have learned that life can change on a dime, and we need to be grateful for what we have every day. I have learned that purpose can make our everyday endeavors epic. I have learned that forgiveness is an important part of the path to inner peace. And I know that gratitude is one of the keys to mental health and well-being. Struggle has taught me all of this, and I'm thankful for that. And I think that it would be great, and I think the world would be a better place if in our last 30 seconds we were able to say, I'm ready. I have made a difference.